Hey everybody, it's that time again. Time for Darrell's Monday Market Report. Before we get into the numbers, I want to go over again what it's like if you're a buyer out there looking. Rates have risen. I think they fell off a little, but I can tell you there is a mad rush from buyers. Had a client I was working with, made an offer of more than 12% over list price. They were beat out by people making over that as an offer. The winning offer, of course, I don't know what it is, but they wound up waiving the appraisal, finance period. Buyers know that's what you're up against when you're out there looking. If someone's telling you the market's cooling down, it definitely is not. But sellers still, with rising rates, it's a very good idea if you're thinking of selling, get it on the market before rates rise. At some point, that will affect the market. We have a lot of cash coming in from the West Coast. Specifically, the ones I see are California, Washington State, sometimes Illinois and New York. Those are the ones that I see the most. And just know that appraisers, I've noticed recently, have been kind of tough on appraisals. So just know when you're working with your agent, ask them lots of questions about where they're getting their numbers so that you don't run into appraisal issues. Or you can ask this buyer to waive appraisal. I don't advise my clients to do that. I usually advise them to do a partial waiver unless they've got a boatload of cash. Anyway, that's what the market's like, just so you know. It's crazy out there. So this week, the numbers are down a little, as would be expected after our ICE event last week. This week in all of Collin County, there are a total of 647 properties either new to the market or having been sold. That's down 61 from last week. Not a tremendous number. I anticipate this week it's going to be action-packed. I know I have sellers calling me, talking to someone this afternoon about putting their house on the market too. Okay, this week in Collin County, the last 7 days, 162 new properties hit the market or had a price change. We had 143 that went under contract, 172 that went pending, and 171 that sold. In Allen, had 11 new properties hit the market or had a price change this week. We had 10 that went under contract, 18 that went pending, and 15 that sold. Lucas had 2 new properties hit the market, had a price change, only 1 went under contract, 1 that went pending, 1 that sold. So it might be a good week if you're thinking of selling to go on the market. And Lucas, not a lot of new competition. Parker had 2 new properties hit the market this week, or a price change, nothing went under contract, probably due to weather. Had 1 that went pending and 2 that sold, so that essentially wiped out all the new inventory that hit the market in Parker this week. So good week to put a home on the market there. Fairview, definitely a good week to put a home on the market. Nothing new hit the property. No new properties hit the market this week or a price change. And look at this: 3 went pending, and 3 went under contract, and 4 sold. And now we're to the point where we're going to talk about the top 3 biggest cities in Collin County. Mckinney is number 1 again this week at 140 new properties to the market, all the way to properties being sold. Frisco came in number 2 at 108, Plano at 103. So you can see activities picking up in the larger cities. That's a good reflection of the overall county. And all of Dallas-Fort Worth, it's crazy out there, folks. If you're out there looking, that's why I mentioned that at the beginning of the program. And sellers, just a word of advice: if you're going on the market and let's say you're divorced or had bankruptcies or things like that, just make sure before you talk to an agent about putting on a home on the market, you've got your divorce decrees in the releases showing that the bankruptcy is complete. You're going to need that, or if it's not, you may need permission from the court to sell your home. Make sure you have all those things in place. Otherwise, you can delay the sale of your house, potentially causing you legal issues. I'm not an attorney, but just want to throw that out there. Just know, get all your ducks in a row before you put your home on the market. If you have some outstanding issues such as those, if your property's in an estate, make sure it's been probated. Just make sure things are clean so you don't have any hiccups on the seller side. This week in Plano, had 36 new properties hit the market or had a price change. We had 21 that went under contract, 17 that went pending, and 29 that sold. And McKinney, our hottest city again in Collin County, 38 new properties hit the market or had a price change. Look at this, 41 went under contract. So just like in that, so you're negative in inventory replenishment there. Had 29 that went pending, 32 that sold. And sellers, just know, I talked about how great it is for you. Just remember, the shoe will be on the other foot when you're a buyer, so be prepared. You're going to get more than you ever could have dreamed for your home in this market, and you're going to pay more for that next house than you would have thought you would need to or have to. But it's the reality of the DFW market. Anyway, this week in Frisco, 21 new properties hit the market at a price change. And look at this, 24 went under contract, 26 went pending, and 37 sold. That just tells you inventory is super tight. Every city, doesn't matter where in Collin County. Dallas-Fort Worth is the hottest market in the country. I posted a stat about that, I believe, last week on my Facebook. Melisa this week had 70 properties hit the market at a price change, and look, 9 went under contract, 4 went pending, and 8 that sold. There's a lot of new construction out there in Melisa too. And the next city we'll talk about Princeton. So those new homes, they go quickly too. Princeton, 11 new properties hit the market or had a price change. We had 7 that went under contract, 5 went pending, and 12 that sold. I did mention this last week. One, actually, someone I know is number 53 on the list for buying a home in Princeton. This is very common. I have buyers calling me from out of state wanting to buy a new home and not be on a wait list. The only way to do that, you're gonna have to be less picky, less choosy with your city, be ready to go where they're at. I noticed that there were some new construction homes available immediately up in Grayson County. So if you're looking up that way, I know some that are ready to go now that you can go under contract on. So keep that in mind. Wylie this week, we had 12 new properties hit the market or had a price change. 6 went under contract, 6 went pending, and 9 that sold. So zero-sum game there in Wylie this week. Lavon, only 2 new properties hit the market or had a price change. We had 1 go under contract, 1 that went pending, and 1 that sold. So great week to go or put your home on the market in Lavon. Now this next one, the number of pendings is off the charts, and I suspect it's probably because all the new construction out there, lots of new construction there. This week had 3 that were new to the market or had price changes. 5 went under contract, and this number's crazy. 43 went pending. That's why I suspect it's new construction there. We had 10 that sold and ended this week. Farmersville, 3 new properties hit the market at a price change. We had 1 that went under contract, 1 that went pending, and 2 that sold. Alstyne, we had 6 properties new to the market at a price change. We had 4 that went under contract, 6 that went pending, and 5 that sold. Hope you're finding my market report useful. Let me know if you want me to add a specific neighborhood, if you have a question about that in another area. This report focuses primarily on Collin County because DFW is too big to concentrate on more than one. But I'm happy if you want to reach out to me and ask me about your specific area. My contact information is at the end of this video. Have a great one. And tomorrow I'm going to be doing my monthly maintenance moment. Talk to you then. Have a great one.